Welcome to the CEO of Destiny podcast, where you will find the tools to fulfill the purpose of your generation and wildly succeed in the marketplace. And now your host, Andre J. Benjamin.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the CEO of Destiny podcast. I am your host, Andre J. Benjamin, and I want to say greetings to you on this holiday season. I know that people are probably, if you're in the United States of America at least, you are celebrating by barbecuing or blowing something up. Hopefully you're doing it safely, but we are celebrating what is known as Independence Day. And I myself like to call it something else, Independence Day. So not independence, because the independent of being your own person, doing whatever you want when you want, which I think is cool because that's kind of a part of maturity. I think the other is to be totally reliant upon another. And I think as the Father's children, we find ourselves totally relying on Him. So this is going to be a real brief one because I do want to get some barbecue myself, right? If you're not a good barbecuer, at least you can pretend to be. You put on your grill stuff and act like a grill master, or you stand by the people and you take pictures, well positioned to make yourself appear as such. In any case, I remember when I was young, I couldn't wait to turn 18 years old because, at 18, people are telling you that it's going to be this phenomenal magical thing where the stars open up and you're able to do whatever the heck you want to. No longer are you a slave to the teacher and to the parents' authority. You are now a full-fledged card-carrying adult, which means you can make decisions for yourself. So I remember I was like, what can I do different today that I couldn't do before? Well, hanging out with my friends as 18, it wasn't my exact birthday, but around that time I remember going to go get a cigar because I could buy a cigar. So I'm like, let me go buy a cigar and I'm going to smoke this cigar. And I remember sitting there and puffing that cigar and trying to, put it in, inhale it and keep it in my chest. And my friends laughed at me because they're like, you idiot, you're not supposed to keep it in your chest. You're just supposed to have it in your mouth. This is my BC days where I'm trying to figure out who the heck I am. So why does this matter? I was searching for my independence. Or, I remember trying to get we used to have the fake identifications to try to go into nightclubs underage. And, that was the whole risky thing. But then I remember turning 18 and saying, now I can do it officially. I can go to an 18 year and older nightclub. And lo and behold, it was the same as before. So there was nothing magical about it. What a bust. Being 18, I guess you could vote, which is good to be able to cast your vote for the people that, lay down their lives or sacrificed or were not able to do those such of things. They faced danger in doing such. So I thought that was interesting, but it's not like I was really politically involved heavily. I bring this up to tell you that independence seemed like a futile quest. I think the greatest measurement of people's maturity is not their chronological age and not saying all the things that you do, but how you manage responsibility. So in this Independence Day, I know we're talking about America being free from the British rule and, establishing almost this entrepreneurial idea of this nation where people could come, forge upon themselves, have the freedoms foisted upon them that were given by God, but then having them secured or elaborated on or protected by the government, right? To give people the ability to build their families and build businesses. And we know it was an ideal and it wasn't executed to the fullest because there were sinful people at the helm. So regardless of it, though, I find myself grateful of being in a nation where we can publish the gospel of the kingdom pretty much uncensored. We can preach it and proclaim it. I can be in this medium in your ear, right? You're wherever you're at. You can be multitasking and you have these devices which allow for you to be able to hear me talk freely about Yeshua being the Lord, being the owner, being the king, and how he wants to radically change your life through you yielding to his kingdom message that the government that we lost can be restored in our hearts and in our lives, and it will come back and it will overtake the earth. What a privilege and an honor to be able to do that. I've been hearing about our brothers and sisters that are in Iran and the explosive happenings of the believers coming together. They have to have their holy convocations in secret. They have to gather together and share the word in secret. They can face legal challenges, being ostracized, being alienated, being cut off, and even their life being beaten, being imprisoned. It's a very telling situation where they don't have the freedoms that we have. So to whom much is given, much is required. So I'm thankful for that. I want to encourage you in this time to be thankful and think about the freedom that you have and the freedom and the choice you have to be able to put your total reliance and trust in the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's why I call it Independence Day. It's that, wow, what an opportunity to say that the freedom that is given to me by you, Father, is also a responsibility for me to stay connected and planted, right? You go back to the original intent. And when we were designed in the garden, he gave us free reign to cultivate the undeveloped beauty. And it's the same way you do today in your business, right? You have your business, and you have some of you that have jobs that are listening. You have your job, you have your area of responsibility, and you have this uncultivated beauty, but you can manage and steward it, develop it. You can bring life to it. You can bring the reflection of heaven's economy into this place, right? All goes well until you start to deviate from God's instructions. And when we deviate from his instructions, we try to take shortcuts. We put profit solely over people. And I mean, things should be profitable. I'm not a person who's anti-profit, obviously, because if you're not profitable, you don't have a business. What I'm saying is that we put mammon over people, right? Yeshua says you cannot worship both God and mammon. You can only serve one and hate the other. And so he says, God is our source. The Father in heaven is our source, not our money, not just getting a check. And a check to me is one of the ultimate determinations of reality. It's a reward system. Money is not a miracle. It's not magic. It's not mystical. It is truly just people rewarding you for solving a problem. So in your business, you are a hero to someone. You are solving problems for them. You are adding value into their life. You are bringing clarity, capability, competence, right? Courage for them to execute on something that is valuable to them, right? This is your business. This is how we stay in business. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. So with that business, we are dependent on the Father to know his instructions, to not violate his instructions, to change people's lives, to solve problems, to cause for us to have massively profitable businesses so that we can take those resources and plow them into what? Establishing more assets, more businesses, touching more lives, creating more employment, solving more problems in our society. This is the beauty of business. So, question for you, your business, does it have the joy of the Lord present, right? The Lord has been dealing with me with the simplicity of in 2 Timothy chapter 4, he talks about being faithful to the word. And the Lord let that ring in my spirit. I think I typed it like 7 times as I was hearing it proclaimed through the pulpit. I said, oh my goodness, am I faithful to the word, faithful to the word, faithful to the world? In a world of flakiness where people are up and down, go through emotional highs and lows, we have our own challenges, our trials, our tribulations, we have the things we're going to. We have to know that the Father is faithful with his word. So are we faithful to his word? If we're faithful to his word, if we seek him, we shall find him. If we ask, the door will be open. If we seek him, we can find him. And if we knock, every door will be open, right? Ask and it will be given unto us. The ASK acronym, right? Ask, seek, knock. Are you asking? Are you diligently seeking, going after, seeking first the kingdom of God, Matthew 6:33, and all his righteousness, so that everything else would be added unto us? Are we John 15? Are we realizing that he is the vine and we are the branches, and that as we abide in him, as we remain in him, we bear much fruit that remains. But apart from him, we can do nothing. I'm thankful for every life that is being impacted through this podcast, through any resource that's given to you. I want you to crack a big smile right now. Just pause for a second. Smile. Wherever you're at, awkwardly, just give that full smile, right? It's hard to be angry when you're smiling, right? The physiology of smiling does something to us that makes us awkward. I'm even laughing as I'm smiling, forcing myself to smile. Smile because life is not so hard when we just take a moment to thank God and realize that, Father, it's because of you that I have all that I have. Anything good that's in my life came from you. And the decisions that I have, the responsibilities that are before me, I treasure your voice above everything else. So in this season, I'm asking you, are you faithful to the word of God? Are you faithful no matter what your emotional situations are, no matter the betrayals that you're facing from other people, no matter the disillusionment, the anxiety that's there? If we're faithful to seek his face, if we're faithful to chase him like we would chase some beloved person that we like, or some opportunity, or some job, or even some body shape, or, whatever it is, some monetary number, or getting that new real estate deal, closing that real estate deal, closing that business deal, getting that contract secured, getting those checks in the mail, getting that auto deposit, getting that new client, whatever it is that you're pursuing. Are you seeking the Father's heart in the same way? Am I seeking the Father's heart in the same way? Someone spoke this over me. They said, in this season, may you be wrapped around the Lord's neck to hear his voice closely. May he be able to take you and gird you up. And I said, oh my goodness, this is what I need. I need that closeness. I need him to breathe life into me. Because Daniel said that when he spoke, his word brought me strength. The word of the Lord wants to bring you strength right now. So I want to speak encouragement to anybody who feels that they're not having a good family time of, Independence Day. They're in America and they're not having good family time because their family might be broken and have the trials and the weirdness that we all have going on. Yet I want to say to you, in Psalm 68:6, it says that God sets the lonely in families. You are in the family of the Lord. That's a precious family to be a part of. He is your Father. He's your source. Cry out to him. Let him know all your needs, wants, desires, all your anxieties, fears. I've been doing it in the last X amount of days, and it's been life-changing for me to release the day to him, for him to release my concerns, for me to trust him and to be in the moment, to be childlike, not childish. Remember, be childlike, not childish, to be childlike so that we can inherit the kingdom of God. And so when I'm with my small children, especially our youngest, I'm able to see the world through the lens of simplicity. She's present and in the moment. If we're playing with rocks, where the rocks at? That's what she always asks me, Dad, where the rocks? And I say, in the dirt. So she asked me where the rocks at. When we look out the window at the neighborhood, where the rocks at, Dad? I say, in the dirt. And she says it gets me going. And we talk about the trees. We talk about the sky. She said, look at the sky, Dad. Did you see the sky? We were driving on our way as a family to go eat somewhere. And she said, Dad, did you see the sky? And I was half-heartedly, yeah, I saw the sky. And she kept asking me that question over and over again as a 2-year-old. But did you see the sky? Did you see the sky? And I said, wow, what a powerful and profound, probing question that she's asking. Did I really see the sky in all of its beauty? Do we take time to slow down so that in that making space, we can hear the voice of the Lord and go and transform what's around us? Do we have a heart of appreciation? So brothers and sisters that are listening across the globe, wherever you find yourself at, I want to declare that the Lord would bless you and keep you, that he would make his face shine upon you, that he lift up his countenance towards you, he be gracious unto you, and he grant you the shalom that comes from knowing him, from knowing the risen Messiah, Yeshua. This is your day. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are rejoicing and we're glad in it. Be encouraged in your nation. Be encouraged at your jobs. Those of you that are working your full-time job and creating that part-time hustle on the side, keep it going. Those of you who are in the summertime here in the States and you are traveling abroad or you're somewhere, be diligent with what's right before you. Don't get distracted by fruitless and frivolous relationships. Measure relationships based upon vision. Measure your associations based upon common vision. If people don't have common vision and revelation, do not maximize time with them, minimize time with them, because time is valuable. And we have the charge to redeem the time, for the days are evil. Buy back the time. Take money and buy your time back, right? Because time is what we have that's not replenishable. So I'll talk more about that in another episode, but I just wanted to shout you out and tell you to be encouraged. This is a powerful time. Align your priorities with the voice of the Lord, being faithful to his word, and recognizing that being in total dependence of him is what grants you the freedom, right? Dominion through submission. Say that. Dominion through submission. So, Father, thank you for your dominion through submission. Do me a favor. If this podcast was any blessing to you or held any value, I need you to tell like 20 people about this. And if you hated it and it was horrible, let's keep it our secret. You know what to do. Subscribe to the podcast. Give us a review. It helps us to gain traction and to keep it moving. Shalom, shalom. Until next time, may the Lord bless you richly. And may you experience the bounty that comes from knowing the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Invite heaven into everything you're doing and watch the transformation take place. Shalom.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Do us a favor. If this was useful in any way for you, please go to iTunes and leave us a review. Reviews will allow others to easily discover the podcast. If you'd like more information and to receive a free download, Rediscover Your Destiny, go to ceoofdestiny.com. Thanks again, and tune in next time.